Hello, and welcome to Freedom with Marketing. I'm Sam, the founder of Freedom with Marketing, and welcome to this video series. In this video, I want to answer a question that someone asked me recently. The question was, what was it like for me in the first few months of when I started my business? So I want to share that story with you in this video today. So first of all, my experience as a freelancer spanned several years before I decided to make a business. I was probably a freelance copywriter, focusing on writing sales letters, building funnels, writing the copy for the funnels in our market in order to sell the offers, and before I evolved into focusing more on creating the best possible offer for clients, which then led me to focus more on how to convert your existing customers into repeat customers, which is where all the money is in the business. So I did that as a freelancer for several years. I started off with one-time gigs on Upwork, which sucked. This evolved into working with more long-term clients. And then one day I decided that I wanted more. I wanted to scale things up. And so we decided to start a company, to incorporate. And so in the first few months, it was insanely hard. The first is because my wife had recently given birth. My son at the time was maybe around 6 months old. Still wasn't sleeping through the night. My wife had a last-minute cesarean during the pregnancy, and she still wasn't 100% recovered from that. Plus various other external stresses. Anyone that has children knows how hard it was in the first few months. And this is when we decided to incorporate our business. So it was really, really difficult trying to manage it. The next thing is that we were starting a company in a foreign country, which has extra complications. And the other issue is that we didn't have a clue what we were doing. You could have asked me anything on copywriting, sales, and making more profit in your business, and I could answer you like that. No problem, had to do it. But when it came to things like having a company secretary, how to hire a company secretary, or having to go through the process of doing company audits, making sure that all the contracts are in place, opening up a corporate bank account, which was the biggest nightmare because we opened up a company account, which is in US dollars. And I literally spent 30 minutes talking to the person at the bank, trying to explain to her why we need a debit card for the company account, because the vast majority of things that you pay, you put your card details in. She just would not comprehend this. She was telling me, why don't you do a bank transfer? So I had to say that, so someone sends me an invoice that I have to pay, and this is where I have to put the card details in. How on earth am I going to pay the bank transfer? That was another nightmare, and issues with banks still caused a problem for me today. And all of this was at the time with working with a premium client on a long-term retainer who paid me a lot of money to perform the service. Bottom line, it was a nightmare, it was hard. What we had to do to get through it was sort of take each day as it came, get through each day. Any problems or challenges that came up, we just had to solve them and figure them out as we go along. I first started off by getting a virtual assistant who was more of a physical assistant from the same city. That turned out to be a complete disaster. I won't go into the details, but the contract ended prematurely, not on good terms. This put me in a position where I was quite biased and choosy about who I work with, and it led me to continue to operate the business in the same way that I would as a freelancer. Anyway, after making so many mistakes, and making lots of mistakes over and over again before I finally get it into my thick head what I should be doing, I started to understand how I should be doing things, and now I have a small team. What I do when we have projects or certain things that we do on a regular basis, we are trying to build systems that are predictable systems we can follow, predictable systems that anyone in our company internally can follow. And what I do is I assign a team member to be the project manager. I empower them to make decisions based on what they think is best. Then for them to tell the relevant people as part of the project what they need to do. And so far I found this model is working quite well by empowering my team members to make decisions on their own. they take ownership of the project. Everything has been a lot more smoothly. It speeds up the process of getting things actually done, rather than trying to ask me things and clarifying things and all of this. And that's basically what the first few months to the first year or two in my business look like. A lesson I want to leave you with is that what I went through was hard, and no doubt I'm going to go through even more challenging times in the future. It is what it is. The way to get through it is to apply mental strategies. These are mental strategies that I actually learned from my ultra running hobby. And what you have to do in a situation where everything feels like it's falling down, nothing's going right, you just have to stop, evaluate where you are, and try to set yourself a micro goal of just try to get through the next 5 minutes. Try to set yourself a goal of what can I do to improve the situation in the next 5 minutes, 50 minutes, 5 hours, the next day, etc., etc. And focus on doing super easy things, and then celebrating each time you do it as a win. You will then start to quickly accumulate all of these small wins, because you give yourself super easy things to do, super easy tasks. And when you get more and more of these wins, it will change your mindset. And whenever you're in a tough situation, everything's going wrong, just remember that this will pass. The clock will always tick. What you do in the present moment will affect how things are in the future. If you do nothing, or you do the wrong thing, it will make things worse. If you do small things now to even turn things in a more positive trajectory from the situation you're currently experiencing, before you know it, you're going to come out the other end. That's all I've got for you. If you resonate with anything in this video, I would like to invite you to reach out and contact me. I'm always happy to talk more. If you want to work with Freedom in Marketing, I would like to invite you to do the return on your investment in advance. This is a short application form with a few questions on it. If you answer the questions, I will personally review it and give you a personalized strategy on how you can make at least $1,000 in your business by applying it. No strings attached, doesn't cost anything. The reason is for me to give you value in advance without the expectation of anything in return, which is a core value for me and my company. But it's also there to give you a result in advance to prove that I can actually do what I say I'm going to do. You'll find the link on how you can claim that, if we are still offering it at the time that this video is published, in the description below. That's all I've got for you. See you in the next video.